I had no idea what I was letting myself in for, but it's been a great journey, and I thoroughly enjoyed it very much. The training was fantastic. In actual fact, we had so much training that it enabled us to pull out whatever tool we had, or whatever tool was needed to get the job done. I really like taking the newness to each and every child. So and then it's as if I became Darnley Junior, and I just like delivering that.
As a volunteer, I had absolutely no idea that I would be so involved. I actually anticipated that I might pass objects to one of the artists and be very much in the background. But the training that David and Rebecca both gave us was so good that by the time we got to actually using the objects, I was really excited to use them rather than intimidated.
So I work with volunteers who'd never worked with people with profound and complex disabilities before, or children with PMLD. And how did I set about preparing a training that would contain their potential as well as the children's, I suppose? That's a really complicated question. I went partly on instinct, a lot of it on instinct, knowing that the actual skills needed to be a good performer are exactly the same skills needed to engage with diversity and different ways of communicating, to be able to improvise and think and be mindful in the moment and to be truly responsive. And I think being a good performer and those qualities are very much together. So actually working with children with complex and profound disabilities makes you a better performer. It's not the other way around.
I was dancing with the flying fish, and what I did, I aimed for eye contact, so empathy, and then I stoop under him, so to speak, to see his eyes, and when our eyes met and the fish sandwich in between, the smile just came out.
The sheer variety of responses was just breathtaking. Every single session seemed to unfold something different in a response from a student.
Yeah, we kind of made it more and more elaborate, I think, as we went on. So the last couple of shows, we really got the bus going and had a little bit of a train going with the wheelchairs, you know, which has only developed over the last week, maybe. I was involved with a whole lot of different objects and finally got used to being able to pass them around. That was the hardest thing. The pattern of the way the objects move through the piece was the hardest thing to get in my head, so that I knew when to give actors the right hat and when to snow and when to throw snow.
So it was creating a series of exercises and workshops designed to make the volunteers discover their own different unique qualities, because in a sense that's what we're relating to with the children. We're recognising uniqueness. Each child was different in every school. Not one child was the same in how they responded to something, and so it had to be mirrored back with the volunteers and discovering their own unique solo moments. So I put them into a lot of solo moments. But also to be multisensory articulate, to be able to feel confident about communicating through different mediums, whether it's touch, sound, objects, words repeated, sentences, and to be able to move fluidly between all of those levels.
Well, being introduced as a young Darnley in the Caribbean and Barbados and show the kids how Darnley been raised and how he enjoy the smell of nature and smell of fish, and you really enjoy it. It's like you're telling a story to make the kids feel in kinda they are in the story, and they really enjoy it. Even hearing the sound of the sea and the steel pan and a lot of seashells, and mostly enjoy having fun with the fishes too.
I like the scarf, playing with the scarf with the children.
Kind of floaty.
Yeah, I mean, I I was trying to find how I could fit in a way. And because intricate things are much more difficult for me because of my sight impairment, doing something bigger is a lot easier. So, I mean, the dressing up was just accidental. I was just mucking about and it stuck. But I quite enjoyed playing peekaboo. It didn't work today at all, peekaboo. I might have once. I can't remember who it was with, Gideon maybe. I can't remember who it was, but it only happened once today.
And then training that allowed them to rediscover their own sensory intelligence and to feel confident about that and to reclaim it for themselves. So there was that. Also, I think it's quite important when you're working with improvisation and then responsive to the moment, so that you're trying to uncover moments of authenticity, however fleeting, is that you create very solid structures. So the actual pieces had quite fixed tent peg moments where there was a scene shift or a mood change, and that's what all actors train to be good at, is to be able to move and segue between one thing and another, a mood or a scene shift, that somehow there's meaning inherent in the segue as well. So that was important, so that they could then, when it came to being in the school, they could return to that as a solid base or let it go. And that was it really, I think.
I wouldn't have a clue. I thought I was signing up for an Entellicy tea dance.
Okay.
So it was all a bit of a surprise to me, but a very pleasant one.